Hello there everyone, and welcome to another toy review here on the channel. You can't see me, but my name is Chris. I am the Man Collects. Thank you for joining me here on YouTube for this video. If you end up enjoying this, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to the Man Collects, consider clicking subscribe to the channel. If you do, hit that bell for notifications. That way you will know when new content drops. If you go to the description of this video, you'll see a link to my Instagram page. Go check that out, give me a follow, send me a message should you choose to. Alright, all my self-promotions out of the way, let's take a look at what we are here to look at today. New GIJoe Classified series. What number is this sucker? 171. This is Crankcase and the AWE Striker. Very excited to get this, guys. Hasbro, in my opinion, does a very good job on these GIJoe vehicles. I've got a few of them now. Was kind of on the fence about this one, but after I got the Stinger here a while back, I actually got a couple of those now in my collection. I thought, you know, I got to have a good Joe vehicle to go against this. I didn't get the Vamp when it was out, so we wanted to grab this thing. This is an exclusive to HasbroPulse website, so you have to go to Pulse to pick this thing up. It's not available on Big Bad or any stores or anything that as of now. I mean, it may end up at Ross next year for 30 bucks, who knows. Used to be $99.99, although the price has increased here probably in the last month. This is now $110 on HasbroPulse. So we'll take this out of the box. We'll put this thing together. We'll take a look at Crankcase, your figure that it comes with. We'll see if it's worth $110. I will have a link to this on HasbroPulse's website in the description of this video in case you decide you want to get one. That way you got a quick link to get over to it. But if you watched my reviews in the past, you know what I do. We take a look at packaging, then we take a look at what's inside the box. Now this is a pretty good sized box. I've got my camera adjusted out about as far as I can, so I won't be able to I may not be able to keep it all in one shot here. I may have to move it around a little bit, but there you go to get some glare off there. You can see your image there of Crankcase and then the AWE Striker on the front of the box. Of course, you got a window down here that shows the actual figure. We'll get that out here in just a second. Here is the bottom of the box. Again, this is an exclusive to HasbroPulse, but there you go. For whatever reason you still want that barcode shot, you've got the gratuitous barcode shot. Now, as far as what's on the ends of the boxes, I'm not going to be able to show you that very well. We're going to get it down here. You can see you've got an image of Crankcase there. It goes down to the number, the 171. And then on the other side, you got a little bit of stuff there, the 171, kind of the rank and file. Your QR code, if you want to try to scan that, there you go. The top of the box, I mean, kind of bland and boring. You got the number. Then you got the GIJoe symbol over there. And then on the back, you do have a little more detailing and pictures. You got the number up at the top left there, the 171. Then you got GIJoe, Crankcase, and the all-weather and environment striker. Looks like a big doom buggy, guys. This thing is awesome. But you got a picture there of all the accessories that you get. And then, of course, the AWE Striker. And then a little bit, I guess, assembly instructions of how stuff goes on the other side. Maybe detailing some of the features of it. We'll see once we get it open. But this is a big old box. I can't get it all in one good shot. So you know what? That's enough of that. Let's go ahead now. Let's get the old razor blade knife out. Let's open this up and let's take a look at. We'll look at Crankcase first, and then we'll build and check out the AWE Striker. Just to give you a peek what this looks like, taking it straight out of the packaging, this is what we've got here. We got it out of the box, as you can see. You got your little clamshell over here that does have Crankcase in it and all his accessories. We'll crack those out and look at them in a second. Little pouch up here was empty. You got your spacers in here, supposed to protect the AWE Striker. Of course, we'll take all that packing material out. Here you have your little instruction booklet and probably the little safety precaution thing they got to put in all this stuff nowadays. We'll see what else we got. And this looks like maybe a sticker sheet. Oh, it does have a sticker sheet. Well, that's kind of, I don't know if that's good or bad, guys. I don't like sticker sheets on Lego. I don't know how I feel about it on a $110 vehicle as well. To me, this should have been printed on there. Unless you can just customize it the way you want it and stuff you don't have to add to it. We'll see. But you do have that sticker sheet. And then, of course, you got your little safety and hazardous thing there. And then we got a little instruction pamphlet that does show you how to put the AWE Striker together and all that good stuff there to get it going. There's your sticker sheet at the end. I don't know if I'm going to put any stickers on mine, to be quite honest. I think I just want to leave it drab green. But let's get this thing unpacked here and see what else we got. Let's move that bag out of the way. We'll get our different pieces out. So we can get this cardboard to come out of it. It's attached there on the side. Come on, let it go. There it comes. We'll be careful not break it. There's part of our roll cage top. We'll go ahead and set Crankcase to the side. We do have a little box of accessories over here that's under Crankcase, so keep a lookout for this thing if you pick this up. That'll be some of our little pieces and customizing things in there. We'll take a look at that in a minute. What do we got down here? Got some more baggies and stuff in the bottom there. Let's see if we can pop that out. And then there we go. We'll see what's in these bags in a second. We put this thing together. Let's go ahead now and try to get the rest of this packing material out. I'm going to have to use the old razor blade knife. You have to do this stuff, don't cut your fingers off. There we go. I got some stuff that is strapped down in here. I'll have to get that out. Now, one thing I see already is kind of surprising. It's already, the wheels are already on it. Most of the time, the vehicles I've gotten before, you got to put the wheels on. So, I guess that's one less thing we got to worry about. But it looks like the rest of this is strapped down. So, give me a second. We're going to flip this thing around. Afraid I'm going to hit the camera, hit the microphone or whatever. Let's get the ties off of this stuff. You can see there's one right here on that. And then on the bottom part of the AWE Striker, I mean, you got all that mess there holding the AWE Striker in. So give me a second, guys. Let's cut this out and we'll get started. Let's take a look at our figure first. Now, there are some more accessories that come with him. I'm assuming they're in those white bags you saw me taking out. This is just what came out of the clamshell with crankcase we're going to take a look at first. We'll take a look at the 4 accessories we got here. We'll take a look at the figure, the articulation, and all that. And as we get the stuff out of the other bags, we'll show you what else comes to customize crankcase with. But let's start off with some of the accessories. Take a look at these helmets. You got first, you guys, combat helmet here. This is pretty sweet. I do like that the buckle here is undone because some of these come with these straps that are one solid piece. And by the time you stretch them over the heads 2 or 3 times, it makes that plastic brittle. It makes them easy to break. Now, I mean, this is detailed as far as some of the ridging and stuff on it you can see there. But as far as a lot of colors or anything, I mean, it's a plain drab, combat style helmet there for crankcase. So you can see that there. I guess you want to pose them outside of the vehicle. Again, the chin strap there. Good detailing. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it doesn't look like crap or anything. It's just a plain Jane helmet there for crankcase. And then the one, if he wants to maintain his safety while he's on the ATV, you do have an ATV style helmet here for crankcase. I do like the green visor on it. Then you got the silver there around the back. It kind of gives it some offset there to kind of make it stand out a little bit more than the other. And you got the same detailing there on the other side. The paint apps on this look decent. I don't see a lot of bleed over or any kind of chipping or anything on this. They look pretty smooth and pretty consistent, honestly, from looking at the helmet here. On the back, you got this same color as the other one. You just have the colored accents on here. Now, he should come with a pair of goggles. I'm assuming it's going to be somewhere in one of these bags will open up because, if you use ATV safety, you got to have eye protection as well, and there is no visor in there. So we'll check that out here in a second. Now, as far as the weapons he comes with right out of the clamshell with him, you do have what most GIJoe figures come with. You do have a combat knife here, and there's a sheath on his boot, it looks like there, for his knife to go in there. Good detailing on the blade. Only thing with these I'll caution you with GIJoe weapons, this one's actually a little bit stiffer rubber than some of the others that I've seen, but still, it is kind of flimsy. You're going to be careful with that. It'll be easy to bend it, be easy to break it if you try to do too much with that, because it is kind of gummy plastic there on the blade. The handle's a little bit stiffer, but even it'll wiggle a little bit, so be careful with that if you do get these things. All right, his sidearm. There you go with that. And good to get some good detail. You can see the light there catching it, the ridges and the grip, and all the stuff there on the slide and the barrel. So not a bad looking little piece here. It comes with him. You can see they're all black, no other distinguishing colors or anything on it. Let's check this one and see. And that's pretty good plastic as well. That's one of my biggest complaints with GIJoe Classified. Probably 2 or 3 years ago, every weapon you got would be bent. I mean, they're all this as soft as plastic or rubber. It's so aggravating. You get like a big sniper rifle when the barrel's crooked. I guess they can shoot around corners, but and again, this isn't the stiffest plastic, but again, it's pretty good. It's pretty good for what a Classified you usually get with those. And again, I can see here he's got a holster where that will go in the holster there. So let's take a look at the figure now. Here we go. I have not done any kind of prep work with that. By prep work, I mean I have not worked any of these joints or anything. So we'll see if he's stiff or if he's loose or anything. Hopefully he breaks, hopefully not, as we go through the review here. But let's take a look at his head sculpt first and check out the facial features and the paint there. It looks pretty good on the eyes. I don't see a whole lot of issues with that. You got a little bit of a dark spot right there on the side of his head. I don't know if it's meant to be there. It's a little bit of bleed over from the hair paint. And it looks like a little bit right there too on the skin of the figure. So you got a little bit of overspray, it looks like, from the hair. It may just be the way they got made on his face to make his face look dirty, like he's been riding the AWE Striker. Because both sides kind of have that consistently under his eyes. So I want to assume that's what that is. But as you can see there, the rest of it looks pretty good. His stash looks to be in impeccable shape. as far as that goes. His eyes are straight, they're not crossed or giving me a side eye or anything like that. And you can see there around to the back of the head sculpt. Pretty good paint apps on all that. Let's check out his articulation on the head here. Let's see how far he'll look down. And got a pretty good downward tilt there on the head. As far as looking up, he goes up, not the best, more straight out or more so than up. I mean, it'll go a little bit there, but you really got to kind of force it. It doesn't feel stiff. It moves well. He just doesn't have a lot of upward motion into him there. Let's see. I mean, turn it around. He'll do the Exorcist 360 if you wanted him to, for whatever that reason is. And I'm sure it pops off there if you want to change the head sculpt. Actually, that's pretty stiff. I'm not going. Well, I was almost off if I'd have pulled it, but you know, these will come off. You do want to change. Let me get it. There you go. Got your ball joint. If you had another head for whatever reason you wanted to swap on there, they do come off. I would say super easy, not to super as easy. I hate not to be able to do it on camera, but I'll kind of put it against my chest to get a little leverage so I'm not just pulling kind of awkward on that stud, end up breaking the neck stud off of there, and there's no extra head sculpts to put on. Since we're on the head, before we move off of that, guys, let's take the combat helmet and see. I mean, that goes on there, as you can see, very, very easily. I may not have it very straight, but it fits on his head. Super easy there as far as putting that on there. So that was not that bad. Let's see how the ATV helmet does. Now this one is a little bit stiffer going on his head, but kind of thought it might be with this mouthpiece or whatever you want to call it, the bottom piece on it there. But there you go. I mean, it does go on there. This one is a lot more securely. This one's going to be kind of aggravating to keep on because his chest here pushes on these straps, wants to push it up, so I'm going to have to flail those out a little bit if I put that helmet on him. But honestly, if I use one, I'll probably use this. I probably won't use one at all, to be quite honest with you. But let's slide that back off. There we go. Let's take a look at the rest of our figure. You can see the coloring and detailing there on his chest rig. Pretty sweet. And of course, none of this stuff comes off. It's all made onto the piece there. There's nothing flops down, or there's no, you can't put the knife or the pistol anywhere in his little chest rig there. It's going to be made for the holster and stuff on his legs. But you can see there on the back, he does have the tactical little strap system. I forget what that's called. Mole, maybe, I can't remember. But anyways, you got that on there. Now, that's not usable. It's all kind of made onto the vest, so it's not got any kind of holes you can slide anything down in that. Got your peg there, as you do on the back of all classifieds. You want to put a backpack on him. I don't know if he comes with a backpack. We'll see as we go through the rest of this stuff. Honestly, the backpack on GIJoe classifieds, I don't like it because the peg never goes all the way in. It's hard to keep them straight. It's hard to get the figures to stand up with some of them, and they don't always stay in there the best. So, but there you see your detailing on the upper torso of the figure. So let's check out some articulation now in our arms. Let's see how good the shoulder joints are loosened up. And right out of the packaging, I mean, they're going up as far as they should be there. Now, these will turn, as you can see, and you got a little bit of a butterfly in there to rock the arms back a little bit and then to roll them forward, but not a whole lot in that as far as bringing the arms super forward. You do have bicep cuts, as most Hasbro figures do. You got that on both arms. As far as any at the elbow joint, there's no twisting there, but you do have a double elbow, and on that one, that's pretty good out of the box. Let's see how this one does. And there you go. Both of them come up there pretty good right out of the packaging as far as being able to use that double joint. Always be careful with this stuff, guys, because there is a chance if those are stiff joints, you end up breaking it off there. You don't want to do that. The wrist, I don't have any kind of, it's got one of the hinges there at the bottom. You can kind of dip the hand down a little bit and then kind of bring it back to center. And then, of course, the wrist hand will spin all the way around. That's on a peg stamped into the wrist there. And you should have your same articulation on this hand. This one bends in a little bit and bends back versus the up and down motion that this one had. Alright, let's move his arms up here. Let's see what kind of torso bend he's got. Does he have a hinge in the middle? If he does, I can. Oh, there it goes. You hear it pop. So he will rock down a little bit with that. That is very stiff, guys. I'm going to have to work that a little bit. You can see it there under his flap jacket. You can see he's got the little hinge there at the waist. So, and it does twist on that. So you got a little bit of flexion there at his hips as well. But let's check out our leg articulation. Let's get his holster on there good before we knock that off. You can see there the detailing on the belt buckle and then his holster there in his pants. I mean, it's not just flat, plain plastic. You got accentuations there where pockets and stuff are. So that's pretty good detailing, I think, on what's probably more likely a regular GIJoe classified figure. You can see there on the belt, on the back of his butt, he's got his pockets in his pants like he should. I like how this is different color than the pants on the knife sheath and the pistol holster. That way it kind of gives it it stands out more. You can see you do have double jointed knees and stuff there we'll check out in a second. Just want to check out the detailing on the pants. And then his boots. As you can see there, it's got good detail on the boots too. Different color little cuff there onto the main part of the boot. And you can actually see some tread on the bottom of the shoes there, not just flat plastic. So there's the bottom of his feet. Of course, you got peg holes down there if you do want to use any kind of base or stand him on anything. I see peg holes on the AWE Striker, so you'll be able to pose him on there if you don't want to have him driving it. Let's check out our leg articulation, guys. Can he do the Van Dam? Oh, yeah. Most GIJoe classifieds can actually do that, so he will go all the way out there. Let me get his head twisted around there. I'm going to leave his arms up. I want them out of the way looking at these legs. They do go all the way out. You got a little bit of a drop hip on there, not a whole lot. If you're used to GIJoe classifieds, about the same thing you have with most other classifieds. Now, with Hasbro, you will have the cut there at the thigh. So you got a thigh cut where you can twist the leg. Nothing in the knee, but you do have the double knees, and he can almost kick himself in the butt. It was pretty loosened up out of the packaging, so let's see how this one does. Oh yeah, both of them are pretty good and limber as far as those double knee joints, guys. So at least with that, there's always a risk of breaking them, but they do move pretty good coming out of the box. The joints aren't loose by any means, but they are good enough where you can move them, and the figure should hold its pose. No kind of boot cut or anything, but I mean, it got a little bit of an ankle cut there where the foot will twist around, and then of course your ankle's got some articulation as well where you can rock it back and forth. As far as stubbing his foot up, you got that much in the ankle, and then flattening it out, it'll come out to about there. Kicking motion, it'll go up to, I mean, you got a ball joint hip, it'll kick out up to about that far, going straight out. And then coming back down, it comes to the regular thing there, not much hyperextension. I got his knife sheath a little bit crooked to straighten that up. As far as going the other leg here, you're going to have the same articulation on that, but let's get him pimped out with his weapons. Let's take his knife and see how easily that goes in the sheath. And again, you got a flexible blade here, so you want to be careful. But there you go, it goes right in there, fits securely, so you turn him upside down and shake him. That knife's not coming out. The pistol, I like how it's got the strap here on the holster, and you got like a little peg and peg hole there where you can latch that once you get it in the holster. So there you push that down in there and get it all the way in, and then you can take that around and push it, give it more of a realistic look, and it is in there very securely. I mean, even with the strap off of it, it's still the pistol. As you can see, I'm shaking him pretty good there, and it's not even moving inside the holster. So that's good for posing. He falls off a shelf, hopefully he won't lose his accessories. But as far as crankcase, guys, there we go. Pretty solid figure. I do like the look of it, the color use and everything like that, but that's enough of him. We've already killed enough time with the review for that. Let's get on now and take a look at the accessories, and let's put our AWE Striker together. All right, next thing we have, you see here we got the bags that came in the box there. Let's open these up, and let's see what's in these, guys. Oh, there we go, our M2, and oh, look at that. That kind of stinks. The barrel's kind of bent coming out of the package. Well, I was talking about the soft weapons, but I mean, at least it does kind of straighten up pretty easy there. So there we got that going. What else we got in here? Got some launchers. We'll take a look at where these go on the thing here in a minute. Got some antennae that'll go on there. So again, got some accessories here for our AWE Striker. And what we got in this one? Almost like opening blind bags here. Oh, there's some ammo boxes. Check that out. Come on, get out of there. There we go. Is it empty? It's empty. So there you got a gas can. You got a tool kit. I mean, look at the printing on that. That's pretty sweet. Does it open up? Oh, it does open up. Cool. That's awesome. And then you got a couple of ammo cans here that'll be for the guns that mount to the AWE Striker. You already saw the M2 and the Mod Deuce we got out of there a second ago, the 50 cal. So we'll see where those go. I mean, there's your peg holes where they're going to mount. And then this last pouch, hopefully it's got some more accessories for crankcase, because we're supposed to have some more stuff with it. Oh yeah, there we go. Is that everything? That's everything. Let's see what we got here, guys. You do have a bandana that you can slip around his neck if you want to. Again, you probably have to pop that head stud off would be my suggestion, and put that on, then snap the head back on. That's kind of thin back there. You try to stretch that over the head, there's a good chance you might break it. He does have a sun visor we can put on him there if we choose to. You see there, it's got off-road printing on the visor. He's got a little face mask there to keep the dust out of his mouth. And again, I would suggest taking the head sculpt off and then putting the head sculpt back on with that on there versus trying to shove that over top of the head. Again, good chance you can break that, because as you can see, it's not the thickest plastic right around in there. He's got what looks like a pair of maybe a rangefinder, maybe some binoculars here. You can stick around his neck for effect. That is cool looking as well. Good detailing on those. This is a solid kind of a strap here. It's not fabric. not a bendy wire or anything, so you want to be careful with that. You work it too much, you may end up breaking it here at some of the joints on it. We've got a couple of rockets for our rocket launchers over there. So, of course, you're going to have rocket launchers. You need to have rockets to go in them. So, there are those. We have got a, hey, here we go, a GIJoe coffee mug, insulated coffee mug. That is sweet. We'll stick that inside the AWE Striker somewhere once we get it made. But pretty cool looking there. The gray and the black offset each other quite well. GIJoe. All right, we got a mounted machine gun here. This does go on the front. I remember seeing that from the box art there, so we'll get that mounted on the AWE Striker when we get it out here. You got a place there to put some of the bullets in there from the ammo cans. And then there are the goggles for the ATV safety. You can also put these onto crankcase if you want to have them with a pair of goggles. As far as the loose pieces that were in for the AWE Striker, before we take a look at the actual vehicle, you do have the extra seat here that'll go in the back, and take a look at the detailing. There's also two of these already mounted in. And it's one thing we'll talk about is the assembly is something I was a little bit disappointed with when I opened this thing up. We'll take a look at. As you can see there, good color and good paint. This is all plastic. You know, that's not any kind of different material. It's just different color plastic on there for the cushion. And then you got your roll cage construction. This is soft plastic. It'll move, which is good. You'll be able to position it around to get it into places where it snaps in on the vehicle. But again, it's not so stiff you think you're going to break it if you had to flex it a little bit to move it. And it's not soft enough where it's going to be able to give a whole lot if you got figures or accessories hanging off of it. And then we got the roof of the AWE Striker. You saw that when we got it out. I do like the little printed watch head there as you're getting in. That's pretty cool with the arrows. And you got it on the other side as well. So we'll get this put on the AWE Striker. I like it has the mesh. Here we got all kinds of attachment points up here for figures and whatever you want to stick on the top of it. And the antenna and stuff. We'll get that put on there here in a second as well. Alright, that is all of these accessories, guys. We're going to move these out of the way. Let's get the AWE Striker out of here, the way it looks straight out of the box. We'll take a look at that real quick. Then we'll get all the accessories put on. Then we'll put it on a spinning table. We'll take a last look at it, and we'll wrap this review up. And here you have an overhead view of it. We will get this a better shot later where you can see the whole thing. Just for the purposes of this part of the review, I do keep this an overhead camera shot. But one thing let's take a look at first, we have a handy dandy tape measure here. Let's see how long this sucker is. We're going to hook it on the front bumper here and take it to the back. So you got right about 13.5. Well, by the time you count the hitch back here, right at probably 14.5 inches total from the front bumper to back here in this hitch peg on the back of it there you see me touching. So pretty good sized vehicle, and we'll measure from the widest part back here, which is the back. We'll go from back tire to about back tire. You got about probably 8.25 inches there from back tire to back tire. And then at the front of it, let's see if it's about the same. Yeah, you're about the same on the front. If I get it on the camera, might help, might it? About the same on the front. So pretty good sized vehicle, guys, as far as that goes. Looks awesome. Love the drab paint here. You got the US. You got a lot of printed pieces on here. Again, I don't think I'm going to put any stickers on mine. And that's just my personal preference. You can decorate this thing how you want if you end up getting one. One thing I do want to talk about, most of the GIJoe vehicles I have purchased in the past, I got some of the four-wheelers, I got some, again, the Stingers. Not a whole lot, but all the ones I bought before, you had to about put everything on them. This thing came like this out of the box. The wheels were already put on, the seats are already in, you already got the bumpers and the winch stuff here at the front already good to go, so I was kind of surprised with that. I was expecting to have to put the majority of the accessories on this thing, plus the wheels, but they're already on there. But take a look at some of the stuff here on the inside. You got some stickered elements in there. I don't think those are printed, but they're already on. Yeah, I can feel the gloss of the sticker. But still, take a look at it there. If I can get a hold of it better and get it up here in the camera. That looks awesome. If you had some way to light that up, to have it lit up at night, that will look sweet. You can see here your steering wheel spins all the way around. It does not move the wheels, but you can position the wheels here any way you want to. They kind of snap into place if you can hear that clicking there. Rubber tires, you can see there, you can push in on them a little bit. That's a nice little feature of it as well. They're not plastic tires. All four of them are rubber tires. You got your printing here, a little bit of distress on the star on the front, your United States. You got a bunch of riveting down there. You got some grease points here it's talking about to keep it greased. That's pretty sweet. If you come over here to the side and take a look, you got your GIJoe printing there. You can see there what the side looks like as far as the wheels and all that. You do have some writing on the tires. What's that? Rugged track tires. That's kind of cool. Gives it more of a realistic look. I'm not sure how good you can see that there where it is black writing. There is your back wheel on there. It's a little bit bigger tires in the back, of course. Let's take a look at its butt. All right, we had to reposition a little bit there to get this on the camera. But there you can see this looks awesome. The red lights back in behind that grate, I think that looks sweet on there, guys. Check that out. You got some sticker elements here. It's already on. Those could be printed. I really can't tell if it's printed or a sticker element. You're right there where it's got the latch things on there. You do have up here, danger, hot exhaust. You got your star printing on there. So pretty good detail here on the back. You do have a hitch. I do have that little tow behind missile set that came with General Hawk that came out here lately. That's going to look cool on the back of the AWE Striker. I may put that on there before I get done here. As far as your bottom, there you go. I mean, it's kind of plain Jane on the bottom. You got all the screws there. If you want to take it apart, you can take it apart for whatever reason. And then our front bumper, there you go with that. Again, I love the cages around the lights and actually seeing the clear lens behind there. You do have the winch and the rope here you can pull out. You do have there on the front, you got the little hook you can hook it on to stuff. And then, of course, you can use that to wheel it back in. So pretty cool looking, I think. Looks pretty mean. Let's get it back down here on the table. One thing I want to show, I guess I can show it here too. You do have some suspension, so it does move. So if you want to try to do some kind of posing with this on whatever, it does kind of give a little bit on both the wheels here on the front. You can see there a little bit better how much it'll move. You got a little bit of play here in the back, but not a whole lot. It's more stiff back here in the back as far as that goes. But you put it here flat on the table, and I mean it squats down pretty good there as you can see. And then it is stiffer there in the back. Looks awesome, guys. Only thing with these, and I guess to make it more expensive, the steering wheel is loose. Is my only real negative I see on this so far. And it would be cool if it turned the wheels on there. But again, for $110, you're getting a figure with it. Even at the $99 price point that I got it for, I mean, I guess it's probably wanting a little bit too much. Your gear shifts on the inside there. The gear shift moves. That's okay. I did not think that did that. Let's bring this up here and show this. Your gear shift in there actually moves a little bit. And it goes a little bit to the side like you're actually shifting gears in there for a manual transmission. That's awesome. That's a pretty good detail. Also, I didn't show, but you do have cup holders. So, you know, if you do want to take Crankcase's coffee cup we saw here, it will push down into that. And there you go. His coffee cup will go into the cup holder. So that's pretty sweet. It comes with freaking cup holders. That's awesome. This here, they got the radio does come off of that right there, though. But I'll probably leave that rested in that little thing. I've got it messed up now. I played with it. There we go. And again, we've already showed the printed pieces on that. So pretty detailed in here as well. Even your lever right here. I'm assuming that's an emergency brake. Right there on the back. You can see it's down. It does flip up a little bit. So you can move that some for a little bit of playability as well. That stuff right there moving, I think is good detail, guy. I did not expect that to do that. Or I would have showed you that when we looked at the inside. But it does move around there so you can have a look at wherever you want it to be. Like they've shifted gears, putting up the park brake, whatever. That is pretty sweet. Alright, now, let's get our little instruction booklet out here, and let's put some accessories on this thing. Let's see what it looks like all pimped out. Alright guys, if you mess with GIJoe Classifieds, you know the accessories on these things, the instructions are pretty simple, they're pretty straightforward. You can see here, it shows the steps there. You got, what, 4 steps, and it shows in blue where this stuff goes on the AWE Striker. So let's put this stuff on and see how hard it is to get it to attach. First thing it shows us here, we're going to go and order the instructions, putting the seat on back here, and then again you just line the hole in the bottom of the seat up with the peg, and it pushes right down on there. And of course it does have a little bit of pivot on there once you do get it on, so we're going to make sure it's on there real good. I want mine to stay straight. Number 2, we're going to put our top on here. So the 3 pegs are going to go in the front as you see here in the instructions, and then your 2 pegs will pop in here in the back, and then these will go kind of in the middle. So let's get it lined up on this side and get it pushed down in there. That's pretty easy. Now we're going to turn it over and get this side in there. And again guys, the plastic on this roll cage is not super soft and not super stiff either, so it is easy to maneuver it around. You can see there you can push on it a little bit, so you can bend it and flex it a little bit to get it to go into these holes when you are putting it on. I'm just giving a little extra torque here because where the suspension gives, you push down on it, it gives a little bit, makes it a little aggravating to get it down in there real securely, but it is on there now. So number 3, we're going to put our back part of the cage on here to protect our driver or rider in the back. And it will go, you know, you got peg holes here, you got holes here in the roll cage. That's where it's going to plug in at. So just get them over in those holes. We'll put it in the cage there first, and then we'll pop it in If I can see what I'm doing over there. Here we go. And let's put a little torque on that. There we go. Alright, in there. Alright, so there we go so far. If you want a sideways view, we do have our roll cage assembled for the back seat and the front part there. I know it's upside down, I'm sorry, but you get a good look at it. Alright, now you got all kinds of crap that goes on here in the last step, so let's get all that stuff put on, guys. Let's take a look here. Let's turn it around to this side where the fuel cans and stuff go, and let's get this put on. So it looks like the fuel can will go on the little peg hole back here. So there is that one. Your tool kit. I thought this came with like a wrench, but I guess it didn't. I must be thinking of the vamp that came out here a while back. So there you go. You got your fuel can and then your tool kit. And again, you got peg holes in the bottom of those. There are pegs, studs you can see here on the mesh where those plug in. If you don't want to put them on that side, you can put them on the other, I guess. But we'll take a look at that here in a little bit. We do have that put on. Let's put our machine gun here on the front. You can see you have the hole here where that goes. And this is the gun we looked at out of the bag a second ago. So let's get this. And then you got the little like scissors plug there. You can see that's just going to push right down in that hole. And it turns a little bit. It's been aggravating. There we go. That is in there where your passenger can use that right there to fight off Cobra. Barrel is bent a little bit, guys, out of the package. Again, you got these rubber weapons with the GIJoes. Now we need an ammo can to feed that thing. Here we go. And again, where I didn't show it on the gas cans, you do have a peg hole in the bottom of that. And again, you got a peg right here. And that's where we're going to put our ammo can. So we'll get it attached on here. Push it down on there. And then you have your ammo belt here. It's kind of hard to see it, but you got that slot there in the side of the gun. Hopefully you can see my hand through it there right at the top of the rifle. That's where this will plug in. So there we go. We're going to pull it through a little bit. And there you go with that aesthetic. And as you see, the rifle's bent a little bit. That sucks. I'm going to have to work on that to get that straightened up. But there's your feed up to the side of the vehicle with that going in. Nope, they go here on these studs back here on the back. So you can see right there my fingers. And then again, you got pegs at the top and you got holes in the bottom of these. They are bent back, and these are meant to be bent because that curve kind of tells you how they go on. You're going to want to put it with the curve piece pointed back here towards the back. So let's put this on there. There's that one. And there is that one. And if you want a sideways look, there you go. Front look. There you go. And hey, oh, look at that. I just noticed there you got some white kind of lenses in on that thing to show, make it look at the lights. A lot of good detailing on this. And there you go on the back. Alrighty. What's next? We got our antenna on. Let's put our bazookas on here, our launchers. And on these, looking at the instructions here, you're going to put the square side pointed towards the front of the vehicle, and then the rounded side points towards the back. And then you got these little notches right here on the top of the roll cage, and you got some peg holes right there. That will help tell you as well, because as you notice, the peg here on the front of the launcher, if I can get to zoom on it, is bigger than the one on the back. And if you look at these holes, that one is bigger than the one back there. So that kind of helps you figure out how these things go on as well. And we're going to do the same thing over here. There we go. This thing, I like it so far. I'm trying not to say too much because I said I would do final thoughts at the end, so we're trying to be good with that. All right, now we're going to put our turret gun at the top. You've got your Ma Deuce here we're going to put on there. And again, the gun is going to go on the center stud right there on the roll cage. We'll get that put on here. And then we'll put our ammo can up here with it as well. So there we go. Again, awesome looking gun. And again, once we get the ammo can up there, you can see the open slot there beside of the star. We'll be able to pull those bullets through there to give it a look like it is locked and loaded. But right now, let's get this thing here. You got a peg hole on the bottom. You got a peg right here. I'm going to stick my fingers under there to kind of brace this to give me some leverage just to push that thing on there. Very easy. And there it will turn, but you got to be careful because you turn it, it's going to come off. So if you get it on there and you want to turn it, I would do that before you get it assembled on here. That way you're not doing what I'm keep doing there and keep pulling it off. Well, it's being a little stubborn, but there we go. We got it on there now. All right, there we go. All right, ammo can. Now you've got 2 pegs up here at the top, and I don't see any more accessories, and I don't notice anything we missed here in the instructions. So I'm assuming you can put this ammo can on whatever side of this you want. The instructions show it going here on the passenger side, so I'm going to put it on the passenger side. So let's turn it kind of flat here, and let's make sure the bullets are going the right way. For one, you don't want it to look stupid, the bullet's not going the right way. And push it down on there. If I don't pop the gun off there in the process of trying. Ooh, I pulled the roll cage loose. I will say, for everything I put together, the stuff pushing in here on the top of this, the gun and this, was probably the most aggravating thing to get on there. Then again, we got our slot there at the top, and some of you military guys could be watching this thinking, that's not how you load one of these things. You load it on the other side. Well, it may be the case, but I gotta say, guys, this gun, we're gonna take that off till we get the gun back on. The gun is being the biggest B word so far to get on there. All right, so we do have the gun on there now. We'll save it for the final parts of the review. We do have some rockets here. I'm just going to see if they will slide back into these launchers. They will. So we're going to put them down in there, and again, put it in with the feather arrow looking part there first, of course, with the fins, and just slide them back in there in the hole. I'm not putting them back in there all the way in case I want to pull them out. But there you go. We have it assembled now. The AWE Striker is together. Let's get this thing up on my little spinny table and let's take one final look at it. Hello, my friends. Nice to see you. Let's take a look at our AWE Striker here. Let's take a little 360 spin on this thing, guys. What do I think about it? Now, aesthetically, I do like it. It looks awesome. I think it's got some nice details on it. I like the printed pieces and stuff here on the back of it. I've got a couple of issues with it, though, that we'll talk about here. One of it is the machine gun on the top of the cage there. That right there is a pain in the ass to get it to stay on. If you cannot twist it, if you put it on and try to turn it side to side, it comes right off. It's not hanging on there by much now. This ammo can on this side, let's get it spun around here and see what I'm talking about, and we'll give it a little bit of a zoom in so I can feature a little bit more. As you probably saw me struggling with it there a little bit in the video, a little bit I didn't probably edit out, me cussing and all that stuff, but the gun here, like I said, is on here very, very loosely. If you try to twist it anyway, it comes off that peg. This ammo can's easy to pop loose as well. Now, the way it shows it going on in the instructions is the ammo can to be over on this side and then facing the opposite way. I don't really see how to do that. You put it back that far, it's just going to make it harder to get it to go on there. But as far as the general look of the thing here, I mean, you can see here in the zoomed in look, it looks awesome. It's got some nice detailing on it. Again, the suspension and stuff you got on it on the front and all that stuff makes it pretty cool. And you can see there, you know, crankcase goes in there pretty well. I don't think you'd have any trouble at all getting a second figure in. But again, my negatives with it are this gun and the way it attaches to the top. And then you got the soft rubber weapons. Like this right here does not have a lot of heft to it. So if you don't pull the bullets through a long way, it makes the gun kind of droop over to the side. I don't know if you can really tell it much there. I've kind of got, well, you can see it there actually quite good. It's leaned to the side more than it is standing straight up on it. Again, it was soft rubber out of the package, so the barrel is still kind of bent on that gun. I wish that would have been a harder plastic like they did up here with the M2. Still, it's a nice, it's cool for what it is. It's nice. I'm not going to say it's a piece of crap. I'm not going to say not to buy it. Do I feel it's worth $110 price point now? That's pushing it. It's I don't know if I can say it's worth $110 or not. To me, this should be around $69 to $89. Probably be a good price point for it, just given the quality of the plastic and stuff you're getting. You got some nice detailing, some nice sticker work, some nice printed pieces. However, I do not see $110 here, just to be honest. If you factor out the $20 or $25 for the figure, you've still got it up there pretty good for just the vehicle. I feel like for the vehicle by itself, $50 to $60 is probably going to be the top of the market for it, in my personal opinion. Do I regret buying it? No, not really. You do have some more options you can do with it as far as that goes. You have a turret here on the back where you can actually, I guess, mount that gun back there if you wanted to. I don't really know what that's intended for, the black peg behind the seat there. You do have some customability or whatever you want to say it with the sticker sheet. And again, there is the sticker sheet again. I'm not going to put any of those stickers on this thing. Not that I don't like them. I just like it looking like this. I don't think it needs them, in my opinion. I like the drab look to it better. You do have a lot of peg hole. You still got pegs here. You can almost stand Joe's on the side of this. You could put one there in the seat. And then here on the back bumper, you do have peg holes back there. They can stand on the back bumper. So Technically, it can hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 figures on this thing with all the accessories on it there. Again, it's got some negatives, got some positives too. Let you decide if you're a fan of this stuff. If it's something that fits your collection, grab it. I got a couple of things that I don't feel it's worth the price point, to be quite honest, but I do enjoy it. It is nice looking. It is a nice vehicle. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you have an AWE Striker, let me know what you think about yours. If you like it, you love it, you hate it, or whatever. Don't forget, you're not subscribed to the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell for notifications. Follow me on Instagram. If you have enjoyed this review, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. Signing out for now. I will see you the next time the man reviews some toys.